Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading, and today's readings are going to be on a lighter note than the readings of the past few days. Back to Harry and Meghan, back to their antics, back to the Crow Tarot, and which is the tarot that I like to use when we are talking about social media, messages, PR, that kind of thing, Twitter, all the rest of it. And today I'm going to be reading on Harry and Meghan's response to the fact that their message in support of President Zelensky and the people of Ukraine was ignored, basically ignored by him and ridiculed by others, whereas the message that was put out the next day by William and Catherine, a very personal message, was immediately acknowledged and gratefully received. So how do the two in Montecito feel about that? But before I forget, I would like to wish all my viewers in Australia the very best. I know that you are going through very hard times there because of the floods, and I am aware of it. I have seen your comments, and I am really sending you lots of love, and hopefully you will be protected and you will be safe and you will be able to get through this without too much harm to yourselves. So back to Harry and Meghan, back to that message. The body language guy did a little video on it on YouTube. It was quite interesting. It's always interesting in my opinion. And he did a simple analysis of the language of the two messages, Meghan and Harry's message and William and Catherine's message. And Meghan and Harry's message, 25% of it, I think that's the right figure. It was quite a high percentage, relatively. I was listening to it in the middle of the night, so a bit of insomnia. So I can't be absolutely sure it was 25%, but it was a high percentage, relatively. Was in fact just mentioning their names, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, blah, blah, blah. Whereas William and Catherine's message, as well as referencing President Zelensky personally, because they of course had met him and his wife and had a personal relationship with them, mentioned themselves only right at the very end, signed off with very humble W and C. And quite different tone, quite different motivation, I think. And of course, quite a different response, both from the president of the Ukraine and from commentators, people out there in the world. So I am using the Crow Tarot. I have my 5 cards out, doing a 5-card reading, seeing how Harry and Meghan felt when they put that message out, how they felt their response, about their response, and how they feel about the fact that William and Catherine were praised and thanked. Not praised, but thanked, and they were not. And the underlying energy of this reading from the bottom of the deck is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, a waste of effort. Is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Upright, it's your harvest, reaping your rewards, what you have sown, you now reap. If you reap the wind, you sow the whirlwind. And if you don't sow the right things, if you don't invest in the right things, you don't get the right response. This was a waste of time as far as they're concerned. And that is the underlying energy. Waste of effort, waste of time. No acknowledgement and no praise and no success. They haven't earned any friends with this. They haven't gained anything from this. And I'm going to ask directly what they intended when they sent that message out. And anyway, the heart of this reading is another message gone wrong. The 8 of Wands in reverse. 8 of Wands is literally messages, and particularly on social media. And it didn't meet its audience, it didn't fly, it wasn't successful, it's swift and hits the mark when it's in the upright. The 8 of Wands, the media message is received, and in the reverse it's blocked, it falls, it doesn't hit its mark, it's ignored, it's not noticed, and that is literally what has happened. So what was their motive? What was their intention in putting out this message? Is it part of a political campaign? King of Wands. It's wanting to look statesman-like, is the King of Wands. That's a very regal king. He's a lion. There is the sun. There is the crown. the staff with the rose growing out of it, the infinity symbol, that 8. It's a very powerful card, a very powerful depiction of the King of Wands. I've got Tess hurling herself at the door as I'm doing this reading, but she's going to have to just carry on hurling herself. It's not going to be a long reading. So King of Wands, they want to be seen as being leaders, as powerful, as inspiring people, because the King of Wands always inspires. He leads through inspiration. He is charismatic, dramatic. He's the fun king and the sun king, and so that's what they wanted to be seen as. They wanted to be seen as powerful leaders on the global stage, on the world stage. How did they feel about being ignored and ridiculed? In fact, how did they feel about it? Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is about a moment of clarity. It's about truth. It's about seeing things, seeing truth. And even though it's the Ace, it's a new start and it's a new message and a new idea, and it is upright, it is always quite a harsh card for me, the Ace of Swords. It's quite a savage card, and it was quite a savage response. And they felt it with that Ace of Swords. There is no question that they didn't feel it. They did feel it. I think it was quite a shock. It almost has, interestingly to me, a bit of a tower energy around it, this card. That they thought that they were going to be so powerful and so successful, but the response was quite swift. Swords are very fast-moving energies. The response was quite swift, quite brutal. In media, journalists being very critical, sarcastic, scornful, people being scornful, of course being ignored, the 8 of Wands in reverse, by the person that they most wanted a response from. And so it's not a terrible card, but it's quite a harsh card. It's quite a cold, hard truth card. The Ace of Swords, you can't ignore the truth when you get the Ace of Swords in the upright. It's about clarity. And the response was very clear. Nobody could, they certainly couldn't pretend to themselves that it had the desired effect, the message. That was the desired effect, that was the outcome. The 8 of Wands in reverse and the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Both cards really telling the same story. So how did they feel about the fact that William and Catherine's message was gratefully received, acknowledged, hit all the right notes? We get another sword, Queen of Swords, and that I think is Meghan's response. These cards are all coming out upright. These ones, not these ones, but their own feelings about things. Queen of Swords in the upright. I think Meghan really feels quite angry, hostile energy that comes from the Queen of Swords. That it's quite a cold, hard feeling about it. I think that there was a lot of shouting. I get the idea that there was quite a lot of ranting with this Queen of Swords. How can this be? We were the ones that put the message out first. We should have been noticed. We should have been acknowledged. We should have been leading the way. And instead, we got this quite brutal response, and I can't understand it. I can't believe it. A shouty energy coming from that Queen of Swords. And angry crow sitting on that throne. And so the outcome for Harry and Meghan, I assume that this was all for Meghan's alleged political aspirations, outcome of this failed message. 7 of Swords isn't a happy outcome. 7 of Swords is the thief card, the coward card, the running away, being ghosted. I think it indicates for me that people are really going to run away from them. They don't want to be associated with them. They'd rather disappear than hang around and be associated with Harry and Meghan. We've got 2 7s in this reading. 7s are have a think energies, have a pause and have a think before you move on with the 8s in tarot. We've got an investment that went wrong, that didn't bear fruit, as the underlying energy that colours the Ace of Swords, that colours the Queen of Swords. That's why I'm interpreting them pretty negatively. If you are learning tarot and you are curious as to why I'm interpreting upright cards quite negatively, it's because of that underlying energy and this heart of the reading energy as well. So the outcome, the 7 of Swords, people I think just literally running away, ghosting them. It's already happened. President Zelensky did not acknowledge their message. That is a 7 of Swords. And I think everybody else who is in positions of power and authority just sort of rolled their eyes and thought, oh no, not them again. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to just get on with my life and pretend that that didn't happen. So not a successful outcome for them. More ghosting energy, more being ignored, people kind of sliding away from them and saying your message is not a message I want to be associated with. We've got lots of swords in this reading and lots of wands, and those are message cards. Swords, normally written messages, thoughts and ideas as well. Wands, more media, PR kind of messages in these Harry and Meghan readings. Both really not succeeding. And so that is it, pretty simple. And just to add to the sevens that are hanging around in this reading, my eye has been caught. I've been told to go and look at the bottom of the deck that's looking at me. 7 of Cups in reverse. It's our third 7. And that is, of course, the energy, interestingly, that I was trying to convey with this Ace of Swords. The 7 of Cups in reverse is cold, hard reality. You're no longer deluded about something. You can no longer persuade yourself that something is as wonderful as you thought it was going to be, as glossy, as filled with possibilities. It's now, no possibilities left. And that really is what they got from the response, that they are running out of options. They're running out of avenues to send their messages. Anytime they make a public pronouncement like this in future about a world situation, they're going to be met with ridicule, open ridicule, and it does jar and it does hurt. And there is disbelief with that Queen of Swords that her message, her word salad is being so badly received by the people that she is trying to impress, desperately trying to impress. That's the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.